All right, we are recording. 93.9 FM, KWSS, and streaming at kwss.org. It's the Dani Cutler Show. Hope you're having a good Tuesday morning when this is airing. Again, I have got a Zoom interview that I did yesterday afternoon, and so it sounds weird saying this right now because it actually is Monday. Yeah. But I'm very happy that my guests are here. I have got Scott and Jose here, and they are part of an awesome thing that I just discovered online, music for Rocky Point. And Scott, and I'm going to have them both introduce themselves. So we'll start with you, Scott.
Hi, I'm Scott Scriber. I created the musicforrockypoint.com campaign between Jose and I. We actually started it only 2 weeks ago. And we're lining up several bands to bring you some live streaming music in support of the people in Rocky Point.
Woohoo. Jose?
Oh, hey, hi, good afternoon or good morning. My name is Jose, and I'm proprietor of Blue Bar in Rocky Point, Mexico. And, thanks to Scott and people like him and yourself, Dani, we're able to get to get to the needs of the people down here in Rocky Point, and also to help promote some of the bands, because above all, that's what we're here for, right? Also, is promote the bands aside from helping out some of the less fortunate here in town also.
Yeah, definitely. So, Scott, how did all this come together? What started Music for Rocky Point?
Well, it started off being we wanted to help the staff of Boo Bar because since the COVID crisis has hit, Boo Bars, they had to shut, just like everybody else, they've had to shut down completely. And then when they did open up, tourism down to Rocky Point completely started. So Jose and I and his staff and I have had a relationship for many, many years. So we decided to try and come up with something to do a GoFundMe, a community fundraiser to bring some money down to the staff of Boo Bar. And it quickly grew into something a lot larger because of the fact that we were getting musicians, local musicians who have played in Rocky Point, that are also familiar with Rocky Point, not just Rocky Point, not just Jose, but Rocky Point in general as well. And the next thing you know, we have upwards of 25 bands now that have played down in Rocky Point at one point or another, contacting us wanting to do their live streams as well. The musicians have been itching to get their music out there, and now, not only are we doing this fundraiser for Rocky Point, but we're also providing an avenue for the musicians to keep their music going and get their music promoted out to some more eyeballs for them.
Yeah. So what is your connection to the community? Is it just Boo Bar or local music listener? How do you fit in?
It's my second home. I mean, it's not really a connection. It is literally my second home and has been. My wife and I's second home and has been about 20 years now. We've always gone down and supported the community. We used to go down 2 or 3 times a month. I'm fortunate enough to have a career that allows me to work remote, so we can go down there at any time. And so our connection that's our home.
Okay.
So and we go to more than just the tourist places. We've been out to the barrios. We see the poverty. We know Rocky Point, and I think that helps in my enthusiasm and my passion and trying to really make this thing work out for everybody, both the people at Rocky Point and the musicians.
Sure. It must be rough right now not being able to go down there.
Yeah,
it is. Go ahead, Jose. Go ahead, Jose.
No, I mean, yeah, it's definitely rough. The people in the Phoenix area are feeling it just as rough as we are. We've been going through this now for 4 months, going on 5 months, and it's been a task, no doubt. It's been very difficult, and we just keep chugging along. And thank God, there's people out there like Scriber, Scott, and there's many people out there like them. And they've always been very humble, and they've always been very gracious throughout the community. So now here it comes, stemming off of that idea, is how can you make this idea grow and also involve others? So here comes Scott Scriber with this brilliant idea, and people are just jumping on this bandwagon. And it's amazing just to see how many people are doing it just for the love of it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just feel good feeling all the way around. And it's just incredible how many people have really touched so many hearts down here, and how many people are so gracious above all, about the help that we're receiving from people, from Americans, from foreigners, or from our northern neighbors, our sister cities. And Scott's like I mean, I've known Scott for several years, and thanks to him, he's the one that introduced me to the Black Moods, and one drunken night at the Blue Bar. And ever since then, I've never been the same. I've been in love with Josh, Chico, and now Jordan for several years, and it's been very good. So this idea there is no end to this idea as of now, and I know Scott and I talked about it yesterday, and we'll see how far it goes.
Yeah.
And definitely promoting the music part is a huge part of it as well.
Well, yeah. And I mean, just from being a part of KWSS alone, through the biggest event of the summer, Circus Mexicus, and not being able to have that this year, but over the years, I mean, all the local bands up here in Phoenix, it's like, and listeners, it's just a pilgrimage.
Yeah,
everyone goes down there, and not just that. I mean, I see it all the time as I connect with all these bands online. They're always going down there and performing and spending, long weekends down there.
It was actually just a heartbreak, and I understand why Roger Klein and the Peacemakers had to cancel that. I mean, there's just way too much involved, but it was a heartbreak to see that, because Roger Klein brings down 5,000 people to Rocky Point for 4 days. Mm-hmm. And most of those people make it a week vacation, so they're down there helping out the economy at Rocky Point, buying wares from the beachgoers, going to restaurants, going to the bars. The economic impact of Circus Mexicus is just astronomical. Right. And to have it just cancel was just such a heartbreak for our home and the people of our home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only that, excuse me, Danny, not only that, Scott, but Roger Klein and Peacemakers are also very gracious with the community as well, performing benefit events for the community. So aside from bringing in just the economic value to town, I mean, him and himself and the people he surrounds himself with are always down here benefiting the community, always. And this is a year-round thing.
It's wonderful. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. Jose, how long has Boo Bar been down there now?
Boo Bar was open in March of 2006.
Oh, okay.
So I started there in May of 2006, and I've been there since. So it's been about 14 years. As you can tell, in the past 14 years, it's been a lot of ups and downs. We survived the recession. This is nothing like the recession that we survived, but this is a little difficult. But we've been plagued, and we've had our ups and downs. And above all, I think the best part about the Boo Bar is, I mean, besides the sunsets and the views, are the music. Yeah. It's the music. We've had live music in there since 2008, and we brought down bands from anywhere from California to from New Mexico, Arizona, of course, Phoenix, mostly from the Phoenix area, but from all over the world, from all over the place. And it's been really detrimental to sit around and on a Friday and Saturday night, and there's no live music. Yeah. And it's, this isn't a normal Friday and Saturday night. Of course, city protocols have also made it very difficult to try to overcome this or to try to substitute it. But in reality, it's just weird. A Friday and Saturday night at the Boo Bar, no live music is totally strange.
Right. So are you open right now or no?
I close every year for the month of August, Danny.
Okay.
And this past weekend was now my last weekend open for a month. So taking Scott's idea, music for Rocky Point, and what he's been doing, what he plans to do with the community, throughout the community, is my staff and I will have a lot of free time. Yeah. So guess what we'll be doing is we're going to be in the community also, and my staff will be paying it forward also within the community. As Scott said earlier, it first started off as a benefit for my staff, which I'm very grateful for, and they are also, has winded up being now helpful all the way around within the community, and not just towards the staff. And they too will pay it forward and somehow contribute it to the community, whether it's bagging groceries or there is a DARE program here in town, and they just wanted to open up another office. So there you go. They'll be painting, they'll be remodeling. So it'll be just a mix of everything, of just trying to help out someone in the community, because after all, that's what it's about.
Absolutely. I love that because it feels like it really, that ripple effect you feel, the community here, it's the same community, if not larger, down there. And we all just want to keep everything going while you can't be fully open and fully operational, because live music adds something so unique to a bar, a restaurant, a venue experience. You just can't get by just being open and playing music through the speakers and serving food, right?
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
Right.
it offers that connection.
not the same vibe for sure.
Yeah. So, and also, I mean, I think this is really important, and it's wonderful that you're doing it, because while here in the US, they've got the National Independent Venue Association that they put together to help out venues. It's not the same down there, because, I mean, it doesn't feel like a different country because we're so connected to it, but it is.
Yeah.
Geographically, it's a different country. So, you're not getting the same kind. You can't tap into funds the same way.
No, absolutely. I mean, you think about what we got here in America. I mean, they're just today I saw in the news that they're going to release another stimulus check.
Right.
We've had the PPP. They're doing the extra $600 or we're doing the extra $600 employment.
Yeah.
They don't have that down in Mexico. I was talking with Jose, and the only thing he was offered was a very, very small loan that frankly wouldn't even pay his rent. And that loan was at a small interest rate, but it wouldn't even pay his rent for a month. So they don't have those subsidies down in Mexico like we do here in the States.
Right.
And it's if people, when they go down to Rocky Point, if they can just get outside of the tourist areas and really see what Rocky Point is about, they would see that they really need help. They were already needing help in the first place, and now add this pandemic. Your tourism stopped. They have their economy is tourism.
Right.
Without tourism, there's no money coming to Rocky Point.
Exactly. And I think that's why music for Rocky Point has taken off the way it has, because the community recognizes that. And the people who go down there, not just the musicians, but the people who connect with the musicians and spend the time down there, they're not just the tourists. They're the ones who really do know Rocky Point and appreciate it for the area that it is beyond the tourist points. So I think that's why
there's also consistently new people coming down.
Yeah.
And to greet them and to be able to see the faces they make whenever they leave, and I'll be back. And I never thought it'd be this way. And it's just a really, really good feeling overall. That person you're going to see again. You just gave them an experience unlike any other, and they'll be back. They may be leaning sideways when they leave, but they
that's part of the experience.
Exactly, of course.
So music for Rocky Point, how does it work? Is everyone just creating their own live streams? What's the process for how this works?
Yeah, I mean, basically, again, this has been thrown together. We've been at it for less than 2 weeks. So I mean, there is literally no professionalism behind this.
Well,
However,
it doesn't look that way.
Thank you.
But I am heavily relying on the musicians. I shouldn't say most of them. Some of them are technically savvy and they can get the live stream going themselves. Other ones require some help, but all the live streams, I've made sure that the live streams are always going to be from the musician's page, because I want the people that are listening to go in and see the stream that comes from this band, and then they would go to their Facebook page and click on like and know how to buy a CD from them, how to buy merchandise. Awesome. We do have a couple of musicians that this is not their full-time job; they have other jobs. I see a little one there. They don't have a full-time job, so I have Michael Gus with Casa Musica Productions, who unfortunately was not able to join us on this call, but he has been gracious enough to donate his time and expertise to put on a full production multi-camera live stream for musicians. As a matter of fact, our first live stream was with the Moonshine Voodoo Band, and it was for our first live stream to have it professionally done like that. It was incredible, absolutely phenomenal. The donations that came in during that live stream was more than expected.
Awesome. Very awesome. So if you want to check out these live streams, you got the website set up. So it's just musicforrockypoint.com?
Correct.
All right, great. And what if you're a musician who wants to get involved? What do you have to do?
You can go to musicforrockypoint.com as well. I have a link on top. First of all, for the people that just want to see what live streams we have, I click on schedule on top. And for interested artists, that's the link, is interested artists. And there'll be some information on there, what we're doing this for, why we're doing it, as well as some contact information. We originally started off only wanting to do 2 bands a week because we didn't want to flood people. But then when you have 25 bands contacting you, and you know, these guys are volunteering their time, and we're trying to accommodate them as much as possible. We don't want 2 live streams, 2 musicforrockypoint.com live streams going on at the same time, unless they're completely separate genres.
Yeah.
You know, because they're each going to bring in their own people. But at the same time, we're trying to also bring eyeballs and ears to these musicians,
right,
to help them get their music out. So it's almost like we're pulling in all the musicians' fans together into one central place, and then introducing them to other music out there as well.
Right. That's awesome. That is amazing. And yeah, that's funny how that escalated so quickly.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we'll just help out a little bit, 1 or 2 bands a
Right.
week. And now it's like you actually have to create a website and a schedule. And
Right. Exactly. And you know, luckily I have a side business as well that, you know, like everyone else's, it's been shuttered. So I do have time on my hands. And so you know, this is how I'm giving back to the community, both for the musician community, because I, like KWSS, I love local music, and my way of giving back to Rocky Point for welcoming me to their family.
yeah, no, it's amazing what you're doing. And I think that it's fantastic. I mean, what you have done is like not the only story of this. It's been really awesome to see so many people, not just in music, but in any place,
Right.
with restaurants, and just how everybody has just stepped up they've seen what the real issue is, whether, no matter how they feel or where they stand on this pandemic, the way that it's affected everybody is the same, right? It's just that, you know, we're all affected by it, no matter what we believe or don't believe, or any of the political stuff. It's still affecting us, and people have realized that, I think. And no matter what, they're putting that aside, and they're still stepping up to help each other out. And I just love seeing that. It's gonna, like, I'm gonna start crying. It just seeing the outpouring of this community, it just gives me hope on getting through this.
Yeah, it is devastating, and I think pretty much this probably stands for any business, but I think it's time to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's time to start being creative with what you do with your business, and start thinking long term. Personally, and this isn't a political statement, but personally, I don't think we're going to be able to see live music the way we have been in the past for quite some time.
You're right, I agree.
You know, so I mean, I think musicians, the ones that this is their career, I think they need to start doing these live streams and really start pushing social media and bring in some fans.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when they do open up, instead of filling up a 500-person bar, you're going to fill up a 10,000 seat place.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've given a lot of thought to the whole live streaming thing with live music shut down, and it's true. I mean, it just comes to that point where we're in this for the long haul, and we have to make some adjustments. And if you don't make the adjustments, unfortunately, you're going to fall behind. And I don't want that for anyone, but this is our world now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I am so glad that you guys came on here on Zoom for a little while today. I appreciate it.
We thank you. This has been fun.
No, absolutely. And Scott, you mentioned before we started recording that you had a little request you wanted to make.
Yes, I have a shout out for a little Black Mood Sunshine, please.
Well, we will be doing that. We won't be doing it just yet because we're going to be going into the 9:39 local spotlight, but I promise you it's going to happen before this show ends this morning. So we love our Black Moods here. And
thank you.
They're always a joy and the greatest guys. And definitely let us know when they're doing their live stream portion of
Absolutely.
Music for Rocky Point, because we'll be all over that.
Absolutely, we will. And for your listeners out there, again, it's musicforrockypoint.com. We have about 25 bands lined up over the next 3 weeks, and I'm in constant contact with Chico with the Black Moods on scheduling a date. They're currently over in Sturgis, I believe,
Yep.
and but they are going to be graciously giving us their time, as well as all the other musicians. But
that is wonderful. Well,
yeah.
I mean, Rocky Point's done a lot for them too, going down there.
Absolutely,
they love it
they
down
have.
there. So yeah. And Jose, good luck to you and the business. And when we can cross that border again, I know where I'm heading.
Well, thank you, Dani. And you could cross this border. You can come down to Rocky Point right now as it stands.
Oh, it's not closed. Okay.
No.
Yeah, the Sonoita border is open, and they've it's kind of funny how they have the country of Mexico as a whole has Rocky Point classified, and per the pandemic they have color codes. So red being the worst and green being the lightest. So we're in the green.
Okay.
And therefore, we're considered a safe place to come down. Very few municipalities in the whole country actually are in green. So because of our really strict and super protocols, we have managed to, our mayor here has managed to keep us safe. And therefore, we've got a lot of stuff opening. And as far as the live music, what Scott mentioned, it's kind of weird because, we're, as of about a week, not even a week ago, they gave us the green light to go ahead and we can start putting in live music. But it comes as with a lot of the protocols in place with 50% capacities, limit social distancing and masking and all these other stuff that comes with it. So, and who knows, maybe like you mentioned, maybe it might be something that this is what it's going to be like forever now, and who knows. But for now, we're starting to consider booking bands for next upcoming season, which starts in October. So hopefully then we can start get back into that vibe slowly. Of course, we have to respect the hours and all the safety protocols that the city asks from us. But hopefully we can see you down here and you can come down here and jam out some live tunes with us.
Yeah.
And hopefully the people in your area also will hopefully things there to get better and everybody stay safe. And I know the protocols up there in Phoenix are about the same, and they're just as tough. And we get it, we understand it, and we'll get through it.
We're all just trying to do the best we can. So yeah. Well, Jose, Scott, it was great to finally meet you guys and to talk to you. And musicforrockypoint.com. So I'll get Sunshine played, like I said, but right now we're going to go into, for our radio listeners, the 939 local spotlight. All this week I'm featuring bands that I haven't featured in the 939 for a while, and today it's going to be the Hourglass Cats. So we're going to get into that. Yes, they're wonderful, right? And they've played down there. So
yeah, they come down with me at least once a year. I try to grab them more, but I can't.
Yep. Or they come down, like Corey will come down or whoever and just do like a little acoustic solo stuff or whatever.
Right.
So yeah. So let's get to it for today's 939 local spotlight on 93.9 FM KWSS. Here is Hourglass Cats and SWN.